Hi, and welcome back to Biblical Theology, Exegesis, and Hermeneutics, where meaning is always context-driven. I'm your host, John Strazicich, and today we'll be tackling our third question here in our questionnaire on biblical cosmology. So if you have your Bibles, go ahead and open up to Genesis 1. Okay, so by way of quick review here, these are 10 questions to test yourself concerning if you have a biblical cosmology or if you have a man-made cosmology. And so quickly, let's run through these. Do you believe the earth is orbiting the sun? Do you believe the earth is spinning to create night and day? Do you believe the moon is a reflector of the sun's light? Do you believe the firmament is just the atmospheric expanse? Do you believe the sun is a star? Do you believe the earth is a planet? Do you believe that God created the planets? Do you believe that stars are massive and far, far away? Do you believe the sun is stationary in relation to the earth? And finally, do you believe that the earth is a sphere? So if you have answered, these questions by and large in the affirmative, then you're going to be shocked to find out that you have a man-made cosmology, and absolutely none of these if you answered yes to any or all of these questions, they are inimical to the biblical text. So let's find out. Let's dig into the biblical text here today, and let's find out here on our third session what the Bible actually has to say. Okay, so here today we are on question number 3. Do you believe the moon is a reflector of the sun's light? So if you haven't seen already, we've already did, the first 2 questions here. So today we're focusing on this question, number 3. Do you believe the moon is a reflector of the sun's light? So you're going to be actually surprised if you've never looked into this question, what the biblical text actually has to say. Okay, then we'll continue on here, and we're looking at the question, do you believe the moon is a reflector of the sun's light? So this is the question here. Is this what the Bible has to say? And we come here to Genesis chapter 1, and if we just look at the 4th day of creation here, beginning in Genesis 1:14, by Omer Elohim, Yehi Me'orot Birkia Hashemayim. So this just states here, and God said, let there be Me'orot, lights, in the firmament of the heaven. And then it says, to divide between the day and between the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let there be lights in the Birkia Hashemayim, in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And then it says, Vaya'as Elohim et shnei ha'me'orot ha'gedolim. So this is our phrase, and God made 2 great lights, okay, Shnei HaMe'orot, 2 great lights, okay, and the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. Then it says V'et Kokavim, and we can just say in the stars also. And so Genesis clearly states that God made 2 great lights, not 1, okay? He made 2. So this presents a big problem for people who want to think that God made the moon is to be a reflector of the sun. So the Bible actually contradicts that and says God made 2 great lights. So either he did or he didn't. Okay. And if we go down here to Joel, and I will give in this here is the word mofetim. I will give wonders in the heavens and earth. And then it says blood, fire, and palm tree columns of smoke. And the sun shall be turned to darkness, and the ha-yareach lit dam, okay, and the moon to blood before the great and terrible day of Yahweh. And then it just goes on to say, and it will come about that all who call upon the name of Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be an escape, just as Yahweh said, even amongst these survivors whom Yahweh calls. So Joel definitely, and this is, remember, the Hebrew text has different versification than the Hebrew, so I think it would be like at the end of chapter 2 in your English Bibles, but in the Hebrew text it's in 3. And it clearly says here that the sun shall be turned to darkness, and the moon to blood. So, obviously the moon is not a reflector of the sun's light. So these are just statements that, you can just pick up the Hebrew Bible and start looking at, different cosmological statements, whether, and these are, one is in creation, the other is in an eschatological text out of Joel. And Peter quotes this here on the day of Pentecost. You could also go there to Acts 2. But we're just moving along. Okay, then we're coming in here to Isaiah 13. Ki kocheve hashemayim. So this just says, for the stars of the heaven and their constellations shall not shine their light. And it says, the moon shall be darkened when it comes forth, and the moon shall not cause its light to be bright. And then Yahweh says, and I will visit evil upon the world, and their iniquity upon the wicked, and I will cause the pride of the insolent to cease, and the pride of the ruthless I will cause to be low. And I will make man more precious than fine gold here, and man than the gold of Ophir. Therefore, I will cause the heavens to quake, and the earth shall be shaken from its place, by the overflowing wrath of Yahweh of hosts in the day of his burning anger. So likewise, the testimony of Isaiah, whom we will see that Christ will pick up here in the Olivet Discourse here in Matthew, comes. So Christ is referring to the text of Isaiah. But remember here, the text says that the sun shall be darkened when it comes forth, and the moon shall not cause its light, to be bright. That's Isaiah 13:10. And then we can see something similar down here when Christ quotes the book of Isaiah. And straightway after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. So there's the text. So that's what we have to deal with. Okay. Okay, this has been another session of Biblical Theology, Exegesis, and Hermeneutics, where meaning is always driven by the context. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And please, if you have any comments, feel free to write them down, and hopefully this has been helpful to you.